Not likely that I'll ever get my shit together. Half my life I felt like I was under the weather. All my future endeavors are far from done. Getting fucked up in the train tracks, never wanna take those days back. I know I was young, I was living my life like a goddamn idiot. Started shit and we finished it. At least I lived my life with style. I no longer feel so proud. I feel a fire again. I feel a spark inside my heart. I feel alive again. I feel a fire again. I feel a spark inside my heart. I feel alive again. I feel the fire it burns. I feel a fire again. I feel a spark inside my heart. I feel alive again. You know I miss the boys that are out in Central. Some days wish I lived on the moon. Never had to meet another douchebag. Think back to when I met the boys age 19. We were living on Chandler Street, fucking it up in December. Never could have guessed after all the times we cheated dead. I'll be standing here in my head, my heart, my spirit, someone instead. Really should have guessed after all the times that we got faded, that my brain might get downgraded. Thank God, I think I'm feeling alright. I feel a fire again. I feel a spark inside my heart. I feel alive again. I feel a fire again. I feel a spark inside my heart. I feel alive again. I feel the fire it burns. I feel a fire again. I feel a spark inside my heart. I feel alive again. I just got sick of the lose, so I decided to grow. Yeah, decided to glue. Sick of the loss. I just got sick of the lose, so I decided to grow. Yeah, decided to glue. Sick of the loss. I just got sick of the lows, so I decided to grow. Yeah, decided to glue. Sick of the lows. Patiently waiting for the day to come where they fuck us for the rest of our lives. I told you all once, I told you all twice that this is the start of our demise. 1, 2.
Yo, yo, what's up, everybody? How we doing? How we doing? Crypto Mike, what's good, man? 10K soon. I don't know if we'll get there, but crossing my fingers. Bro, what the fuck you doing right now? Streaming? I was sleeping. My phone just probing his live. Yeah, I did a late stream. I put a couple tweets out and then like a Discord message. I was going live a little later. I'm joined with Savage Charts, if you guys know him, at Savage Charts on Twitter. He's got about 30,000 followers. He also has a Discord. I joined his Discord, been talking with him recently. He's been killing the lower time frame trades. He and I pretty much have the same mindset. Bottom's not in. Liked his tweets, liked his analysis. Thought it'd be really cool to have him on stream. Plus, there's a lot of people in my Discord and a lot of people on Twitter that follow me and also follow him. So just figured a collaboratory stream would be pretty cool. But I'm going to do the quick run through and then I'm going to get Savage in here. He is also live streaming. So if you guys want both live streams up, you're more than welcome. But he is also live streaming. He's doing his intro, talking to his people. So whenever he's ready and whenever I finish this little brief market analysis, we'll get going. For those of you who don't know, I hope you made a drink because I definitely did. I've been attempting the lower time frames, which I tell all of you guys to avoid, and I got fucking chopped, bro. I got chopped up today. Didn't take too big of a loss. It was below 0.5%, but either way, no one likes to lose. But without further ado, let's talk about the good old index stocks. So far, getting that bounce that I've pretty much, what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty much been talking about. I think that we'll get maybe 31.4, 31.5, just another little bear market relief, and then obviously heading lower. We know that, macro fundamental wise, it's looking pretty ugly. Powell pretty much came on today and said that we're boned. There's no if, buts, and wins recession. It's recession's now and it's here to stay. So at this point, will we continue to go down for the next year? I don't believe so. I think we'll have a harsh downside. I think once the housing market starts to crash and the stock market, hits a nice dump, like a 20-30% dump in a week or over 2 weeks, I think that'll mark either the bottom or close to the bottom. So if you're going to DCA, that's what you're looking for. Overall, I mean, just kind of doing what we anticipated. We fully expected a bounce this week. This is a major level that we've been talking about for weeks on end. And, if you decided to play this level, you're up a bunch of money. Awesome. I don't really trade stocks. They're boring. S&P 500, same exact thing. Not going to waste too much time here. Got that bounce that we pretty much anticipated and expecting. Oh, nice. We got guys spamming. Awesome. Pretty much expected this bounce. So same thing as the Dow. Kind of expecting some relief before further downside. NASDAQ, same exact thing. Kind of holding our major support level. More or less anticipating a drop after another relief rally. If we compare these moves to 2008, and I want you guys to, I'll pull it up now, but if you're ever confused about what's happening, I want you to look at 2008. Actually, we'll pull up the side by side. I want you to pull up 2008 and compare it to now. So here we have the S&P 500 now. Okay, so this is current time frame. And then let's pull up 2008, shall we? Let's see. So I want you guys to notice a couple things. One, we have multiple drops, multiple relief rallies. I believe in every recessive time period, there was about 5 or 6 relief rallies on average. So here we have ultimately a double top. We have a breakdown, 1 relief rally, 2 relief rallies. Even into here, we have big crash, relief rally, and then further downside, ultimately hitting the bottom. So you have 1, 2. I would even consider this a relief rally because we didn't really go higher. Maybe even this in here. Let's say this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 relief rallies in 2008. 2022, we have 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. So I'd still think, if you're one of those people that's like, oh, the bottom's in, this, that. Egris told me the bottom's in. He's right all the time. Roman's an idiot. Well, just know that bear market relief rallies are perfectly common and normal, just like in an uptrend. You have ultimately relief to the downside. You have to relieve your indicators for continuation. Nothing ever moves up and down in a straight line. Even this uptrend, although yes, it does look like a straight line, you still have pullbacks along the way. You still have, a bunch of ups, some pullbacks, some sideways, up, pullback, the whole way up. So let's look at total charts, Bitcoin, and then we'll get Savage in here. So not much has changed with total. Ultimately, looking to retrace back to support. Honestly, I mean, this is a very solid weekly candle. I'd expect that to go. Cheese Clock, can you remove Bruzakong, please? Anyways, expecting this support level to get hit. Ultimately, expecting Bitcoin to go back to 18 to 17K. Total 2, same thing, closer to support than Total 1, but ultimately expecting this level to maybe hold, get a relief rally to go lower. I mean, you guys can see this is a ton of red. Even though I have a very bearish bias right now, given current circumstances, I am expecting a relief rally, and I will fully well trade this. I'd love that. I'd love for a 50% relief rally. I think that'd make complete sense. Anywhere from, let's say Bitcoin drops all the way down to 13 to 15K, a 15% relief rally, just go back to 20, 22K, get a nice relief, and then, continue either moving sideways or down. It just depends on where we are in accordance to have stocks bottomed, have stocks crashed yet, or have stocks even done anything. Total 3. Looks like we stabbed through support briefly. I mean, ultimately, this whole little wick to close is a support zone, but ultimately holding. Still the same thing. I think we could go down, possibly a little bit more, and ultimately get some relief, maybe even get the second line, and then go down. I still think that'd be completely normal, completely fair to say, but for now, I don't think there are any circumstances on any time frame that say relief at the moment. Like, there's no, and if you guys want a relief rally, you need to go down first. You need to retest the lows. You need to build a bullish reversal pattern. You need to see bullish divergences. These things need to form, and price has to go and retest the lows. When price retests the lows multiple times, those divergences form. That price action, whether it be bullish or bearish, starts to form. We get a clearer picture, and then people can confidently get in the market, which ultimately drives the price up. It is not all just the whales. The whales definitely have a big part in everything that, or not everything that happens, but a big part in what happens. But you have to remember, the traders in retail even have money to push the market up. It's not entirely just the whales. I will say it is a good 50 to 80% the whales on any given point. Stizzy, what's good, bro? What is good? All right, Savage, are you here? Savage, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yo, what's good, man?
What's up? I'm here. We're watching your stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah, live. You got a delay?
Yeah. It's like I think it's like a minute. I can't turn it off. I don't know if you can. But all right, if you want to introduce yourself to everybody, man. I don't know if everybody knows you, but go ahead.
For sure. What up, everybody? It's Savage Charts. I try to stream every night recently, especially since the movement from 40K, since we dropped down from 40K. I've been doing this a long time, probably been staring at the charts, and somehow have kept a wife for the last 5 years, which is just absolutely crazy. If you think about every time we're out to dinner before we even had kids, every time we went somewhere, we had a date night once we had kids. What didn't matter, I had my phone and I was looking, and of course she might have thought out of all those times, it might have been something else I was looking at, like might have actually been exciting for me, but it was just the charts. It was just the charts, fam. It was nothing. She would check those text messages and she'd be like, damn, this guy is such a loser. Oh my God. He's just literally checking the charts every day, and the Bitcoin charts. And I mean, she'll tell me, she always likes to tell me when the highs have come, right? Like it's always funny to me when she's like, hey, I just saw that Bitcoin hit 60K. headlines. I saw it on People Magazine. What's going on with our Bitcoin? And I'm like, it's doing well. Don't worry, babe. And then and then the next one would be, oh, babe, I heard Bitcoin crashed 25%, and she wouldn't say anything for 3 months. Like she literally, I mean, if you can imagine, she wouldn't say anything for 3 months about this Ponzi, and she'd mention, of course, when there's a 30% drop in one day. She of course got that headline in her People magazine as well. So I've been unfortunately addicted to the charts for over 5 years, and I love it. And I've gone through obviously the ups and downs, like we all have, and including the down today. And I heard that you had your own down today, and
Oh, dude,
it's
I'm
been
getting fucking
today,
chopped, bro.
yeah. I mean, like let's be
Everybody
real.
is. I mean, this is not. I mean, ideally, this is not the price action that anyone wants to trade in. I mean, and that with that said, guys, if you're one of my students, if you're with Savage in his Discord and in his premium Discord, listening to calls, just understand that you are not the only one losing right now. I can guarantee you that I'd say even 80 to 90% of the people trading today lost. I don't know a lot of people that won today. I think out of all of the people that I know that were day trading today, maybe like 5 of 100 won. So if you are winning, awesome. If you're losing, make sure you keep that risk managed, take your losses in stride, and just pick yourself up and move on.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. It's interesting. I started the day up very happy, like literally like waking up to profits, and was just patient with it. I had a long, I set at 20.1, literally with a 19.9K stop loss, which I had announced last night, like on stream, and I had planned it all. And it was interesting because it kind of formed at the close. And I was just talking to people. I was like, hey, look, I'm expecting the lows. I'm expecting 19K. And then suddenly, like, they're on stream, and I'm like talking with people, like, you know what? It just looks like there's going to be a bounce before we go down. And sure enough, we did get that bounce, and we only went to 20.8. And I actually woke up in profit, and it started riding up to 20.6. And then I decided to take like a extra morning nap. So I just took the extra morning nap, and I missed, I literally woke up in the middle of the nap, looking at the price 20.8. I was like, oh, all right. And I just didn't even TP there. So I ended up TPing at 20.6. So I started up early, and then I literally closed myself out of 2 trades. I didn't even let the stop loss hit. And it's just, that's probably one of my biggest weaknesses. And I'll tell people, look, if you have a setup, straight up, if you have a setup, just go with the setup, ride it out, because sometimes you close that trade $100 before your stop loss, and it works out for you. And yeah, and it's like you're just and it's just your emotions get in the way. And that's probably, I told everyone in the chat today, in the Discord chat, I was like, dude, this is one of my biggest weaknesses. Literally, people will ask, why didn't you just 19.8 stop loss hit? And I was like, on the long, and I was like, well, I knew it was going to hit. It didn't end up hitting for 3 hours, but still, it ended up hitting eventually. But still, it was I closed it before it's, and you're just it could have worked out. And sometimes you save yourself a little money, but they usually go 50-50 when you don't go, with this actual setup.
I got fucking boned on XTZ. And this will probably bounce at some point. I would hope. I mean, for me, this looks like a textbook inverted head and shoulders. I just got ripped up on it. But I'm Bitcoin is doing this thing that it's ultimately, and those of you that maybe you're new here, you haven't been you've never seen a crypto bear market. No matter how good an altcoin looks, Bitcoin can absolutely ruin it. When Link was $1,700, it actually had a lot of different, or not Link, Ethereum. When Ethereum was at $1,700, I actually saw a lot of different divergences, a lot of good price action. It actually looked pretty decent to long, and then Bitcoin nuked. So, and maybe that's not the best example, but I will say for the new people here, trading altcoins in the bear market is hell. Don't even mess with them. It's not even worth it. Most of the time that Bitcoin goes up, most altcoins won't even go up at all. You'd be lucky if you get one that does go up at all. But oh, go ahead.
I agree.
Sorry about
that.
I
was just gonna say, I agree. I mean, especially if Bitcoin doesn't have a defined range. And as I heard you talking, we watched the beginning of your stream. We have no defined range, fam. Like literally, we're right now in like the middle of chaos, and we're trying to use our expertise to find this range. But really, to be honest, like it has not made a real bottom yet, and it hasn't made a real range. And so alts are definitely risky right now.
Oh,
Go
dude.
ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to tell you. So you were talking about letting your stop loss ride. So I don't know if you remember, but it was, I got to get the time frame real quick. It was when, do you remember when Elon Musk like announced that Tesla was buying? It was at, at like 30,
I do. No, I do.
30K and we went all the way to like 42,000 or whatever. It wasn't okay. So the exact day was the 8th of February. And we got like a 20% candle that day. So I had actually woken up at like 6:30 in the morning, and this is like a funny story. This is probably the luckiest I've ever gotten in trading. And I woke up and I was like, oh, chart kind of looks good, you know. Honestly, it did look good now that I look back on it, but I was like, it kind of looks good. I'm not really in anything right now. Fuck it. I'm just going to send a big order in and put a tight stop loss. I went to sleep and I actually had a dream that I like woke back up and closed the order. Well, I woke up and like went on Twitter and my dad texted me, which he never texts me about finance shit. And he was like, I heard Elon Musk bought Bitcoin, dude. Like, how much are you up right now? Like, it went up like 25% in like 2 hours. And I was like, I looked at that. I was like, fuck! I closed the order. I punched my pillow, threw it against the wall. Like, I was like, no, I'm the most unlucky motherfucker I've ever met. And then I was like, wait a second. And I opened up my phone. I'm like, oh my God, it was just a dream. Dude, I was like, oh, I'm selling this. Cause it ended up being like, even buy before the news came out. Cause I didn't even hear rumors that Elon Musk was interested in crypto. I just bought because I thought like a 15-minute looked good. And I'd say backing on that, definitely let your trades ride because you never know what could happen. I mean, as long as your risk is well managed, you guys will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I mean, it's so true. The whole name of this game is to try to make a plan against the market. Like, so you go in, once you have the plan, you go into the market, your plan either works out or it doesn't, and then you leave the market. And that's how most people should play it. And what's interesting, we were talking about before stream, like Roman's more of a swing trader. As a lot of people know, I was more of a swing trader, and now I've become more of an intraday trader, especially more recently in the last 2 months, which is where I've found a lot of success lately. And it's hard, obviously, to make that transition. But overall, like knowing like just the simple things like, you got to have patience as a swing trader. You can't expect the trades to happen every single day if you're trying to swing trade. Like if you're talking about swing trading, first off, accumulation, fam, is going to happen over a month or two, which means that you're going to be able to see low prices, maybe not the lows, low prices, very close to the lows for over a month to 2 month period. So people are like, it's a bottom, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, if it is a bottom, it's an unhealthy bottom. And it just means we're going to actually see even lower than this to accumulate on.
Yep.
It's not a good thing to be like, the V reversal. Have you looked around the world? No, have you looked around the world, people? There is no V reversal opportunity right now in global economics, period. There's no V reversal. This isn't a COVID crash. It's like people are so clueless. Exactly. You're showing the reaccumulation right there to the highs. Look at this. Roman's showing the reaccumulation right there at the highs. Last summer, we played it perfectly.
Yeah,
we
dude.
kept scalping those lows at 29.31K.
So
exactly. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I have a question.
No, go ahead.
Were you bullish on what I have circled right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that was.
Okay. So then you know how to fucking trade. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had not really. So I opened my Twitter account in April, but I didn't really start posting anything until September because I was still kind of on. I was posting analysis on TradingView and all this other shit before I came to Twitter. But
Okay.
essentially, I was extremely bullish here because one, I'm a swing trader, a big price action trader, and I saw this volume going down. We were making lower closes. I saw the divergences here. My system's not too complicated. It's more looking at the intricacies of divergence, momentum, and price action, and seeing if they all have confluence together. But I also saw we had a double bottom here, so I was actually accumulating in the 33 to 36K range, and then I had a big order at 30K, and then I had a big order at like 36K, and ended up selling at about 50K. Since then, man, it's been tough to trade this market. I actually did end up buying the double bottom over here, and I only held it to 48K because I didn't think we'd go any higher. Which sucks because, man, I would have made a killing. I would have made like an unhealthy amount of money on. But
Yeah.
regardless, can't nail them all. But that's great to hear that you were bullish on this, or at least, I mean, even if you just think about it, right? If you go from 60K all the way down to 30K, you're going to have some kind of relief. And ultimately, I thought this kind of roller coaster was going to happen where we go down. Fortunately,
Me too, by the
unfortunately,
way, fam. Everybody knows
yeah,
that.
and
Yeah,
I
it
don't.
was all over my Twitter. Me too. I was definitely turned bearish at 42K. They got me
Yeah,
totally
dude.
by the balls. Imagine accumulating a sub 30K for me personally. My own buys were sub 30K,
Yeah.
and I literally coughed them at like 46K.
I mean,
That's
still,
for sure.
dude, 50%
It's a great. It
gain.
was a
That's
great
pretty
trade. Yeah, it was a
good.
great. Yeah,
But,
exactly. I mean,
yeah,
but,
man.
when
So
you see the other run, you always do that in crypto. You never sell at the fucking top. No one fucking sells at the top.
yeah, I
That's for
have
sure.
that run from 40 to what is it, like 68, 69 circled, and what that was. And I asked Inspo, and I'm pretty good friends with Inspo. We've known each other for months, and what this was a derivatives move to help for distribution. It actually wasn't bullish at all, and the peak at 69K should have never happened. It was a leveraged distribution move. So what they were doing was they were buying like futures contracts and derivatives to make Bitcoin look like it was going up. Because I'm on spot on Coinbase, and you guys can clear. And I always pointed this out. If you want to know when the bull market is, you know, when we're in a bull market, you should see volume going like this on a spot exchange. It's completely going up. It's not stopping. You know, the buying volume on spot exchanges is going up. It's going parabolic. When you make or break an all-time high and your spot volume is very low, that's actually a really, really negative sign. That's not bullishness, because think about it this way. People aren't why would people buy derivatives contracts? Why would institutions buy derivatives contracts instead of the actual spot asset? Because the spot asset doesn't expire. It doesn't, you know, it never you know, they want to hold the actual asset. It'd be like buying a contract for a house, but you don't actually own the house. They want to actually own the house. They want to actually own, even though Bitcoin's not a physical asset, it is an asset. They want to own the asset. So what they did was they propped up the market to distribute. And they've been distributing ever since 69K. And it's been, I wouldn't say it's been unbelievably obvious, but the tactic has been pretty identifiable. Especially with, if you guys compare, so I'm a price action trader. If you look at even Inspo literally, like on the move up, like on this last move up, there's been over 25,000 Bitcoin that have moved to exchanges. So I'm guessing if we close below 20K tonight, I need to look at my 1 hour, but I'm assuming if we close below,
we're
like,
close, bro. We're close. I'm in a short. I'm underwater in a short. That's how confident I am.
I'm underwater in a
like
short,
that's, I mean,
too.
at this point, like I'm
God,
literally,
dude.
oh yeah, I'm expecting at least, 19.1, 18.8 before maybe some type of relief
Some bounce,
to see
I just-
19.6 retested. But to be honest, like there's no reason not to be in a short right now.
Yeah.
We've basically exactly what you've drawn right there. That line we've broken down into head and shoulders pattern. It's a clear head and shoulders pattern,
Very
and
clear.
they already had the retest, and now look, as you can see, it's just a slow bleed. And what I see in this slow bleed, and it's very similar to the manipulation you talk about when the leverage just to get us up to those new highs for the distribution. And what I see here is like, all right, they want to slow bleed it because really that's how they start accumulating. Like when they start slow bleeding, they start basically, getting ready for the spot buys. They don't want this cascade of leverage positions going down because they don't want this quick wick. They want to actually have a little bit more. And like you said, right, that little highlighted box you have right there at 17.6, they really want to like hit that area, hit around that area, hit maybe a little bit lower, whatever you want to call it. And they want to start accumulating at this level, at least for, like you said, a relief bounce. I do expect there's going to be a relief bounce. And then the question will be, is that relief bounce going to get us? Probably not. It's probably not going to get us to new highs. It's not going to make a higher high. So it's going to make a lower high. And then we'll either come lower or we'll keep this 17K bottom, and this price action that we're seeing right now will actually matter in 3-4 months as for a real bottom, right? Like that's how this goes. Like, everything we're doing now is just building. Like there's no go previously when we were the pump up. Exactly. Look, you're zooming out. It's perfect. I'm like literally watching.
I was gonna say what he's talking to is
here.
Like this. Like accumulation looks like this. It's over. Well, this wasn't accumulation, but accumulation, guys, is over months, weeks. Even on a big swing trade, months, weeks. Or sorry, this is weeks. This is the COVID crash. I'm still under the impression that if COVID crash never happened, we would have literally just done this and gone.
Yeah, we would have. Like,
it would have just been more accumulation.
Yep.
But yeah, people.
Weekends.
There are people that think that we're going to do we're going to go down V up like this melt up. Do you believe in this melt up strategy? Do you think it's just nonsense for engagement? Like, what do you think about the melt up strategy here?
I think. Well, you started with Tezos, which was interesting. Go to your Tezos chart there, and you were saying like how hard it is to accumulate, and they really can trap noobs in this market with these alts. Like you can see right there, like that's flipping bearish right on Tezos. It's like clear as day. Like that is just right there on the 4 hour. It's already like it's curling over. It doesn't look good. It just looks like it wants to puke at this point. So Tezos looked like, oh, you got like a little high, and then it came back down. And what's interesting is because, and I think you have the same experience, but because I've been in a bear market, I can expect this. And that's the best part. I want to take advantage of the noobs. Like I'm in the type of situation where I'm like, okay, like, oh, Tezos is bouncing. I saw Solana. Solana broke out this trend line, deviation. It was like a swing failure pattern, like easy short. And if you go over here to Solana, it's like crazy. It's just crazy how Solana is now looking bearish because Bitcoin's looking bearish, right? Like, curling over. Look at that. Draw the trend line down. Draw that trend line from right there. That kind of like top
from here.
Yeah, upper. Yeah, right. The second one right there. Yeah, and draw that trend line right down. But like you can pull it underneath that price action, right? And now the people are going to argue. The bullish people like do the touches of the tops there. Pull that the bottom. Yeah, no. Actually, pull that bottom half down. Pull it down.
Oh, like this.
There you go.
It looks like a breakout.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So what this is going to be perfect because people can call it like, oh, trend line retest, blah, 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 blah. Solana's bullish. But I hate to tell you that, like, if I look at any Solana chart, and I'll pull up my own Solana chart right here. Like, if you look at any Solana chart, like, dude, we're hitting $17, $20. It's just no doubt about it. And it's just the same thing kind of, I think, with Bitcoin. But, like, alts are going to see, like, there's this box I have right here. We're going to see the lows right here, the minimum probably $22 and then $17 at the lowest, and that there are a lot of things that tell me that really is just because of the fact that you can just see these lower wicks in this lower range. So right now we're accumulating in the middle of this range, and then now we're breaking down. Like it's like we're not. This is not going to sit here at this.
That's not a bullish reversal at all.
Yeah, and we're going to hit those lows, and right now it's just hopium. So people are grabbing longs here, and they're just about to get liquidated. You can just see right here on the daily. Look at that turn in the daily. All right, exhaustion candle is clearly bearish. Look at volatility. We're still hot in the volatility, so there's a lot of price action still to go.
Yeah.
Plus the basic like EMAs and MAs. Like I use just if you go over here to the daily. What was interesting, I called this on the short, and we hung up there a while. I'm not gonna lie, yesterday, and people were like, "Oh, dude, we're going to 22.3." The 10 MA on the daily. Literally, we tagged it to a T. Like, look at this shit.
Yeah, I have your
and we sit there and we just collect all these leverage longs, right? But whenever you have like the daily, and this is the lowest, this is the fastest MA I use. So that means it's the most smallest time frame, that has to flip up and turn into like a chair. Like it has to go flat, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this 10 of May, we haven't caught up with price even with the daily. So this 10 of May came right down in price action and shot us down on the daily. And now look, here we are on the daily, and you go over here. I think the 3-day closes. No, 3-day closes tomorrow.
There's
there's the 3-day.
It's got that thing, dude.
I know exactly. Here's the 5-day.
Wow.
I mean, the closest one is the weekly, and we've never closed the weekly under the 200 MA ever in Bitcoin price.
Nope,
and
never.
we're hovering above the Bollinger Bands on the monthly, which is crazy. We literally tapped the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. Look at this shit. This is nuts. And we've never even like crossed the halfway point on the Bollinger Bands. Look at this. Like,
wow, dude.
On the
Holy
monthly,
crap.
closed above it. And it's like people are like bullish over here at literally 40K. We closed the monthly below the mid Bollinger Bands. You just go over here whenever that happens. It's clear as day.
Very clear.
Look at this.
Death.
Yeah, death. I mean, it plays so well to even just the simple Bollinger Band standard settings. I mean, it's a simple tool. You could just see if like for like I'm a macro opinion. So now, like you said, there's no way in hell I'm seeing like past 16, maybe 16K. I don't see it going past 16K at this point. We definitely want to scalp the lows for long, leverage longs, whatever you want to call it, spot Bitcoin, spot alts, and then get a nice, like you said, 20, 30, 40% swing would be beautiful. See some relief in just general economics. It's going to be, I think this is a great opportunity. It's just going to be fast. Everything's going to be fast.
There's going to be a crazy relief. Crazy. And I'm thinking it could be 50 to 80%. Now, I would fully recommend to everybody in both audiences, don't worry about what altcoins look like. Just trade Bitcoin. Right now, if you're going to trade, it's Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's nothing else. Don't trade Asscoin, don't trade Dickcoin, don't do any of that. Just trade Bitcoin and Ethereum because ultimately you guys have to remember like 99% of altcoins are they're scams, they're used as exit liquidity, or they're just projects that are slowly failing and dying out. I mean, you look at something like XRP. XRP didn't even make a new all-time high, and it's been one of the OG altcoins, and everyone's bullish on it and thinks it's going to go to $50. Savage, I don't know if you're bullish on XRP. Sorry if I offended you.
No.
But
no,
I don't think XRP is going anywhere, and I think this SEC case is going to absolutely rip it in half. You guys have to remember, the court case being drawn out is never a good thing. That means they're finding more things, they're giving more time to find more shit. They're trying to screw Ripple, and they've clearly found something to screw Ripple. At least in my opinion. I don't think that XRP is ever going to be the asset that people think it will be. I think there's other altcoins that are better, and even the other altcoins that are better will probably never get anywhere either. Depending on which ones they are. It's at this point, you're either Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe Link, maybe a couple other like mainstream names that have been here for at least since 2018, 2019. But other than that, I mean, all these altcoins are going to be replaced in the next bull market. A lot of them will be replaced. Savage, I wanted to ask the question, where do you think the absolute bottom of crypto is? Or at least Bitcoin, because it doesn't really matter.
Originally I had 14K. Literally I thought 14K was like a solid bottom. And it took me a while to think that. Like, I thought there was a chance. I thought there was a chance after seeing 69K that 30K, 28K, maybe a deviation to 24K would be the bottom. But like, even once we spent a lot of time bear flagging, it was clear as day bear flag in the 40K area. Once we spent some time bear flagging down there, I realized, like, man, it's not going to be 24K. Like, look at what's happening. Like, we got this war, we got this European war, all this crap that's going around the world, like supply chain, quote unquote, like the never-ending COVID. Like, it just gets old. Like, everything gets like so old when it's like this. And I was around when 2008. Now, I was never really paying attention to the market in 2008 too much. I was kind of like living my life pre wife and kids, but I was around for 2008, and I know a lot of people that lost a lot of money, and we're in no different type of situation right now.
I think it's worse.
It's a different type of collapse. Yeah, it's not like a housing collapse. It's a different type of collapse, right? It's printing too much money
bubble collapse,
for the fucking pandemic, and there's just a lot of the inflation, stagflation really is the biggest toxic thing, and But anyways, I thought like came to the conclusion it's 14K. I heard that from a couple whales, like literally whales. They all supposedly talk to each other. It's like fucking crazy.
No, they do.
They're in
Did
like,
you ever
like
hear
not,
about
not even a Discord. They're like literally like having phone calls with each other. Like
Did you ever hear the Telegram messages that went around between whales and all the orgies and shit they have together and the assassination attempts? And dude, it's crazy. You didn't hear about that?
No,
dude, there's an account on Twitter that's like hacked Telegram and has like 300 gigs of messages.
Wow.
And videos and like there's like underage girls and prostitutes.
Oh, God,
and, dude,
God.
it's like
it's like every have a Telegram account ever
thing.
again after
Dude,
that.
It's like every awful thing you can possibly imagine in the financial space. It's horrible. But yeah, no, all of them. Not all. I wouldn't say all of them, but at least the big boys. They definitely collaborate and communicate. It's like it's like a hedge fund. Hedge funds communicate.
It's less than 200 wallets. People don't realize it's like less than 200 wallets that literally own more than 40% total mined Bitcoin. I mean, you can't put that in perspective. Like that's available that they would think of. Like if you don't take out Satoshi's wallet, like literally 40, it's nuts. Like you just look at the numbers, like in such a small amount of wallets, 200 people, we're talking about maybe it's 250 now. It doesn't really matter, but own over 40%. It's like over 45%. That's what's crazy. It's like over 9 million Bitcoin in the top 200 wallets. Isn't that nuts? Like,
That's nuts.
Fucking, it's crazy. And I want to make another point, and I didn't make this point. I haven't made this point yet, and it's good. It's good to do it on stream. I feel like it's hard to kind of like write in a tweet or whatever. But
yeah,
I don't think people realize since we hit 20K, right? We're talking about like basically a year and a half ago. When we first hit 20K to break the all-time highs, think about how much less Bitcoin there was mined now. Now we have this kind of like way more liquidity in the Bitcoin market, and you can just see that the exchanges can really fuck with price. Like today's a perfect example. Like they're gonna hold the price up as long as possible while they just sit down here and accumulate for that swing up. Like the whales, they're doing it for the whales. It's like all fucking collaborated, like a simulated shit. Dude.
It's all the Matrix.
And they're gonna take your money. So everyone needs to understand, like you need to play this smart. You see just this general price action right here. Like this is a slow bleed. I mean, we're talking about how long did it take us from what the first time we tapped really the 19.9K to now where we are. It's fucking 7 hours and 45 minutes. I've been watching this shit. Like I said in my Discord, I was like, dude, this is worse than watching my grandma sleep on a lazy boy. Like this is bad. Now I love my grandma and she's dead right now, but I'll just tell you what, I was sitting there when she used to sleep on the lazy boy watching me as a kid. I was like, when is she going to die? Like, when does this is it, because you're a spoiled little kid and, she's sitting there passed out. Like, she might have been drunk, guys. She was passed out, a little drunk, babysitting me. And she was so boring. She made me watch, like, fucking Betty White in her, like, golden age, like, when she was 42. It was like, oh. Literally, this is as bad. This is as bad though. Like this price action is so horrible, and then we're going down. It's just like we're gonna go to 19.6, 19 or 19.6, 19.4, 19.1, 18.8. We're gonna do this slow bleed, and it's gonna be very hard for shorts to make a good move. But I think, in my opinion, if you really grabbed a short right now with a simple stop loss of like 20.2,
that's where that's like a 5%, where my stop is. I entered right at this price, and my stop is 20.2. And if it gets invalidated, I'm going on vacation. I'm taking a break. Fuck this.
Oh man, you gotta look at the 5 minute. Look at the 5 minute right now, bro. Like the 5 minute candle that just closed. I mean, literally got completely burned off. I mean, you just can't even make this shit up. That's how bad. Look at it. They tried to bounce it and they fucking burned the chimney down. Like, yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude. Like that. They had a hard time retesting the head and shoulders trend line. Yeah, I was telling people in chat, I was like, man, it's so bearish that they can't even work the price back right now because someone's just selling off. There's like people just fucking selling off, and all they're trying to do in the exchanges is hold the price up. Hold the price up. They're trying to establish like fair.
It's all for distribution.
Stability.
Did you see how much like Bitcoin miners, how much Bitcoin inflowed today?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Dude, it was like 17,000 Bitcoin in like 2 hours just inflowed to multiple different exchanges, and it was all from miner addresses. Like
Wow.
crazy amounts of Bitcoin just inflowed because I don't know if you know, but it's not profitable. I don't think it's profitable to
No,
mine
it's not.
Bitcoin right now. So
No,
they're
it's
like,
not.
okay, let's just get the hell out. So,
Yeah.
dude, if miners capitulate, we're easily. I mean, I'm still thinking, and the way that I see the bottom, whether it's 20K, 17K, 13K, 6K, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ultimately, I'm thinking that the crypto bottom happens when stocks. I know I've done research, and after every single recession or basically during recession, stocks crash like 20-30% over a 2-week period. So after that crash, stocks will either bottom right there, or they will have a couple more weeks of slightly down, but it's not that big. It's just a big crash and slightly down, and then that's the bottom. And I think once stocks crash, because volatile assets are a little bit ahead of stocks, I think once your stocks crash, or once even the housing market starts to crash, I think crypto's bottomed.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's a speculative volatile asset that literally has no use case right now. So there's a good chance that it could go very, very low, in my opinion. But honestly, we still need a relief bounce. Like if Bitcoin does a full blown Luna, it's never going to recover. You need to have these sideways and down, or sideways relief rally and down. That way we know it's an asset that can be traded and is worth being invested in. If it literally does a Luna, it's never going to recover. But that's just my opinion.
Look at that MAC day of the 4 hour you're looking at right there.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
dude. It
God,
looks like
that's
it's about
fucking.
to. Also,
Everyone check this out. Look at this puke mode right now. And this flip too. Oh my God.
one thing that I kind of deep dived into MACD. So I
Yeah,
don't. So
I
you
like
see how
MACD.
there's like a middle point between, like, you have red candles over here, green candles over here.
Yeah.
You see how there's this intersection point. So
Yeah.
basically, I call this like the bear zone. So this is the bear zone. So if you have a relief rally, whether it be on the daily or the 4 hour, so like we are really like oversold here on the 4 hour MACD.
Yeah.
We have some divergence here. Essentially what you're going to do is retest this inflection point, or this intersection point where you have the bull zone up here, and then you'll go back down because you're continuing your downtrend. If that makes sense. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. Yeah.
My trading system is, dude, I'm not kidding you. I put myself so I got into crypto. I got into trading in like 2015, 2016. I was like trading biotech stocks based on like FDA dates and stuff. It wasn't any serious TA. Made some money, lost some money, did whatever. I was still in college, and then I got into crypto in like the end of 2016, beginning of 2017. I ended up making some money, losing some money, making some money, and then 2018 happened, and I lost like 40% of my portfolio because I was buying into the methodology of, the bottom's in, and the bottom was never in, and I got wrecked. So from there, I was like, I'm gonna develop a trading system that works, and I took like 2 weeks, and I've never not slept like that. Holy crap. I spent like days not sleeping. Like I have pages and pages of notes. And I was just trying to develop a system that no one uses, because I wanted it to work for me. So I went back through history. I went back through like, okay, what works, what happens. For the last 6 years now, Bitcoin, any relief rally that was worth trading, at least over, if you're a swing trader, there's always been some kind of reversal pattern every single time. And I'd say like 60 to 70% of the time, it's a double bottom.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I like deep dove into MACD, like RSI, all that. Like, people will give me shit on Twitter, and they're like, "Oh, we're listening to the guy that uses MACD," and it's like, dude, you don't understand how this indicator can do wonders, and it's a simple indicator. And in my opinion, you're a better trader if your chart doesn't look like a goddamn rainbow or a coloring book. So I've had
There's people that hate on trend
oh
lines too.
God,
I love
dude.
fucking dude. The problem is that there's this like, I'll say two things about crypto Twitter, because you're on it, I'm on it, and I think things need to be said, and I have no problem saying them fucking live. And
This is
I
pretty
know
much
you have no problem
unfiltered.
saying it. Yeah,
You go
so
ahead.
I'll say one. There's two types of traders on crypto Twitter, and we're talking about actual traders. There's old school trade PA, like that's me, like me and you. We use trend lines, support resistant
Dude, you
horizontal
just keep
lines,
it simple. You
MACD,
just keep
RSI,
it simple.
Exactly. Old school PA. I'm telling you right now, before there was even basic bitch computers, they were doing old school PA on fucking graph paper. Like people don't realize like that's do you think there's before there was computers, how do you think people charted the stock market? How do you think traders did this shit? Like literally old school PA.
Do you follow Peter Brandt at all? Peter Brandt?
I've had him blocked. Yeah.
Oh really? Oh shit.
Yeah. There's certain people I like blocked really early on. I just couldn't handle some shit.
Oh damn. I actually really like Peter, but I honestly I only see his tweets when he shits on bulls. I think it's hilarious.
Well, that's the problem. It's
like
he's just so like
shit.
he's just like so one sided. Like, and I don't know. Like I'm not
he
like
really is.
I'll shit on the bull. I shit on the people that are fucking wrong in this market.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
But there's generally as I see is there's the old school PA people, and then there's the people that like, read the order flow, like order books. Like, I mean, they're looking for the delta. And I've learned that. I actually recently learned it in the last couple months. And like, they're sitting there watching the books, and I can watch the books and I can watch the spoofing, and it actually helps a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but you know what? They depend so much on that, the just watching or the order books, and it's so one dimensional. And I'm willing to put something like up that like MACD start adding to my chart. Like if that makes me a slightly better trader, or like I'll take away RSI if it's been distracting me, or whatever it is. And I think being able to like adapt to this. Look at this, we're going down.
Yeah, I was about to say, bro.
Right,
we just closed. We just closed the 4 hour below our demand zone, so I'm expecting this to drop quite significantly.
Yeah, and they're just slow bleeding it right now. They're going to slow bleed to the lows, wherever that new low is. It could be in the 18K area. We might not even see 17K for a bit, but that at least makes the fact that we're making a higher low and we're making more of a bottom. But anyways, like I said, there's kind of the order flow guys on Twitter, and then there's the old school PA guys. And the order flow guys will literally sit there and talk shit about a trend line. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what? A fucking trend line? Like I use the trend line on RSI. I use the trend line on the actual price action. Like I'm not just I'm not like some guy just throwing up like a fucking if you do you remember that guy Satoshi Flipper? Do you ever see him on Twitter? Oh my god,
man, I never.
He crashed away. He like disappeared basically August 2020. Said somebody got fucking COVID in his family. It hasn't been seen since. The guy literally would throw up a pennant on every fucking thing and then point an arrow up. Like it was like unbelievable.
It's like what half the people on Twitter, dude.
Yeah, and then they do it for the engagement and stuff. And then another thing I want to say, I want to make this very, very clear, because like I appreciate you reaching out to me, finding me to talk. I've really enjoyed the stream. But there's like this kind of little bit of like a European like click cult on crypto Twitter, and it's like they don't and I've realized that like none of the people, like a lot of them I have blocked, a lot of them they have blocked me, and I've realized they're like all fucking like UK French, like they're all
God.
EU guys. I swear to God, none of them talk a fucking lick of like English American. Like, and it's funny.
It's like,
and I'm like, oh my God, it's a fucking
cult.
It's like a cult, and they're like a lot of them are purple bulls. Like, and it's just funny. Like I mean, I've been blocked by Trader One SZ, and who knows what who knows what the fuck I said to him? But like, I said something to him that was like reply guy, and I probably deserved it. And to be honest, he never looked the other way. But a lot of it has to do with like I have beef with a lot of the people he does follow, and then you find out like then he'll never unblock you, because the fact is he's got his boys' backs, and it's just like, so there's this kind of a weird dynamic on Twitter. But I'd be interested to see if like all of us got into the same room together, like like me, you get all the other fucking American guys fucking that are doing crypto Twitter, and then we get all the EU guys in the room. I want to see who's willing to actually throw down, because I bet you most of those fucking guys who ain't showing their face on fucking camera and all that shit, most of those guys ain't gonna be able to handle this fucking this motherfucker.
Well, they always ask us to back them in the war, so it's always
it's true.
America, come save us.
Sorry
if you're European, but it's the fucking truth, brother. Anyways,
you crossbowed a fish, right, today?
What'd you say? Oh yeah,
you crossbowed a fish today, like
bowfish. Yeah, let me pull up the picture.
My God,
yeah, people from my Discord kind of know I'm a fisherman, but yeah, dude, I went bow fishing earlier today. Something I do often. There's a big buffalo carp in the river, and they're not invasive, but they're so overpopulated that you literally need to kill them because they're destroying the population of other fish.
Wow.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. If you ever go on the river near me, you stand up in a canoe, and they're literally everywhere. Like it's
wow.
Yeah, and it's funny because people are like, "There are fish in this river." I'm like, "Dude, just stand up and look. They're so everywhere. It's not, dude. There are bottlenose gar where I am that are 6 feet long, and they shouldn't be that big. And it's because nothing eats them, and they just got huge. And I think part of that's because of how big the carp are. Because the carp ruin the bass population. They stir up the eggs and do all that. And from that, the gar can just feast because nothing eats them.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think it's funny how people on one, if you're wrong, you should admit it. Like you should say, "Hey, I was wrong." And that's one thing I've liked about you recently, and because I've just started following you recently, so using that terminology vaguely. You will say like, "Hey, I was wrong," and I was like, respect. That's awesome. Like I've been wrong, and I'm like, "Hey, I was wrong. Sorry, guys. Like I'm not gonna be right all the time. Get over it, dude."
Yeah.
There are people that will tell you like, and I'm gonna say specifically, and I know you don't know who he is, but it's Egris, not Egris on Twitter. Will literally tweet a bearish thing in the morning and a bullish thing at night, delete whichever one is wrong, and then move on from there. And that I think is bullshit. I think if you're gonna be wrong, you need to own up to it. Because one, I think you'll get more respect from people, and they'll be like, "All right, not everyone's right. He's not a damn genie. Like, give him a break." And two, you just look like a jackass. Because I have, Egris, if you're watching this, I have a bot that's saving every single one of your tweets, bro. I got every single one, and it's in a database. And I'm going to roast you until I get too tired to roast you. And it's going to be a long time. You should have never fucked with me, dude. But anyways... yeah, I think, whether you're a pro trader and a novice trader, it's good to admit you're wrong because it makes you recalibrate and recalculate your analysis. And then it points things out and you can say, okay, I was wrong because of XYZ. Because generally you're wrong because you just missed something. Like maybe you thought it was a head and shoulders, but on a 4-hour, it was actually not a head and shoulders. It was just, like a breakout and retest kind of situation.
Yeah.
Just putting vaguely. But yeah, the European traders are weird. They like to run their mouths, and they also are like really, really skinny. Like they don't eat.
No, of course they don't eat. I mean, fucking, and none of them. I'm telling you, none of them fucking want to post a face live. And look, I'm just gonna say right now, all right, if you're given any type of advice in these fucking markets and these conditions, and you ain't willing to fucking own up to it, or show your face, then you're just you have no conscience. It's ridiculous. Like people don't realize I'm thinking about this shit when I sleep. Like you said, like you fucking wake up and you think you stop. I've done that plenty of times. I've literally woken up and I'm like, oh my fucking God. Did I close this trade or, whatever. And look, when you're doing it like that, when you're eating and sleeping this shit, it's the real deal. And I think people don't realize like we're out here just trying to help, give our opinion.
We'll give an honest opinion. We're not looking for engagement.
Opinion, exactly, honest opinion.
Yeah.
But like also make sure people don't lose money because like I can say 100K tomorrow, no problem. I can make this fucking. I'm making a fake candle right now on my trading view just because I'm chatting and make it like it's a death candle. Yeah, you should. Everyone in my chat right now is like freaking
Could you
out.
imagine if you saw that? That'd be nuts.
Oh my goodness. Well, I just look at like the low volatility right here on this candle, and I'm like, okay, so that means like it's not very strong. We're not going to break above that trend line, in my opinion, and then we're just going to dump. And I just made this obviously more exaggerated this way more than it probably is going to be because it's the 1 hour time
if
frame.
I saw that, I would take profits instantly.
But like I think people have lost enough money in these markets, following the wrong people and you gotta, if you're following somebody that literally says like the bull market isn't over until we hit 100K, that's not TA. And then that's kind of, you got to realize like that's kind of on you if you're following
or someone
like
that's
that
not admitting to
PA.
macroeconomics that are going.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, that's you. It's but Yo, thank you for all the new follows, by the way. Bitcoin Fiver, yeah, everybody that came in my stream and shit. I hope they went over to yours, gave some new follows too.
Yeah, for any of your people, I live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday around like 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern. I think that's a little bit before you. I don't know.
Yeah,
because I think you're closer to 7. But
Yeah.
usually I do like macro market analysis. I usually don't look below the 4 hour, and after I come back from vacation, I'm definitely not. It's just there's just too much bull. It's just, and a lot of people they look at people that are successful at day trading like, oh, this guy made a bunch of money, why can't you? And it's like, because my system isn't a day trading system, and 2, not that I've never day traded before. I've definitely had some successful moments. I've had some unsuccessful moments like today, but just know that day trading is a game of you're entering multiple trades and you're playing. Granted, I'm not a day trader, so I don't really have the bounds to speak on this, but I feel like you're playing odds. So you'll throw in maybe 5 to 10 trades a day, and if you win on 6 of those 10, you're coming out profitable. Or even if you're winning on 3 or 4 of those 10, you're coming out profitable because 1, you have better risk management, and 2, you're trying to take every opportunity you can. For me, I like to keep the hair on my head and not be stressed out and watch charts all day. I like to go bow fishing and shit, but nah, man, I think your Discord's definitely been awesome for the day trading stuff. I'm just glad to hear that I'm not the only one that got chopped the fuck up today.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, it was bound by me. I was getting impatient, and it's interesting. Like yesterday, I wasn't feeling too well. I didn't really watch the charts too much, and I was staying patient at first day. But yesterday, I wasn't watching the charts too much, and when you're like, I don't know, I was busy being sick. But when you're not feeling well and you're like sick and you're not really watching the charts, like, things can usually work out for you. And then there's times where you like have too much time watching the charts and you're not getting out. You don't go for a walk. I mean, even basically like go for a walk. I went to the gym today, all that stuff. You know, those things are important to distract yourself while you're waiting for your PA to play out. Even as a day trader, like the one move today we had really was from the lows after the close yesterday. We hit that 20.8, which I talked about being resistance. I really thought we'd make it up to 21.1. That's how bearish it is. And now you just saw this slow bleed into the head and shoulders, which people, I mean, me and you, we even talked about it about 4 hours ago. Me and Roman were literally saying, like, it's a bear trap. Like, this thing looks like it's going to pump. Like, it looks like a fucking bear trap. Now we're below the neckline, and who knows who the fuck's buying right here, but it's not going. I don't believe it's going past 20.3 before we see lower.
No, I don't think we'll go past 20. Ultimately, my range is this middle range that I've circled. I don't know if this is a true area of support and resistance. It clearly has dipped below, gone back above. It's not acting like a demand zone, because ultimately it'd be, well, now it's acting as resistance because we closed above. But ultimately, the 23.5 and the 18 to 17.5 is what I'm staring at. Regardless, if you guys want to see bullishness on this chart, you need to retest the lows. If we go higher, this thing is going to dump below. I think it'll dump below 17 because they'll have more ammo to dump. And this the low volume. So if we somehow get up here, and I can guarantee you volume will be low. It's already low. That's an indication that this relief rally is, again, just distribution. I can guarantee you a ton of people will buy up here. Just like, and look at the multiple rallies in the. It was like 33 to 45K range. I think it was. I'm on the 4 hour.
Yeah,
it was all of this, dude. All of this was just. I mean, this was just a giant bear flag. They had ultimately they pumped above, but with the lowest volume we've seen, that is not a breakout. This is actually extremely bearish. And here we go. Now they're pumping it. So we might see some more relief, but regardless, I wouldn't be too inclined to long this. This is not something that I would personally long at all.
Yeah. They're hunting stops right now.
No, and for that reason, we're going to get rid of that demand zone because it's clearly not acting as a supply or demand zone. But
for sure.
Yeah, man. Do you have any final thoughts? I gotta go cook.
Yeah,
food
me too.
soon,
Me too. Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to share?
No. I mean, I thought this was a good, productive stream. I do think we're still going to see the lows. This may be a little bit of a fake out, but we'd have to close over 20.4 for me to reconsider kind of the scenario. I do think we're going to see a slow bleed. But yeah, let's see what happens. Obviously, they're playing with the books, and be patient. I mean, if this is how it's going to be, then definitely stay out and be patient. And I think we might do that in the Discord. Who knows? Who knows?
Absolutely,
But,
man. Well, it's been awesome having you on. Shit, if you ever want to come back on, just hit me up. I'd love to have you. I know people in my Discord know who you are. They like your tweets, like your thought process. So just let me know, man. I'd love to have you back on.
For sure, Roman. We will definitely be in touch. And thank you everybody that came from Roman's stream, and thank you everybody that watched the stream today. You all have a good night.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much. It's been awesome having you. Have a nice night.
Yeah, you too, bud. Later.
See ya. Yo, guys, so I'm going to end the stream here. Appreciate everyone that came out. Savage is an awesome dude. It's better to be blunt and honest with people than give them a tray of lies, in my opinion. Love to have him back. It'd be great. But for all of you, I know it's kind of a later stream, so my apologies. All my European friends that watch, again, my apologies for the late stream. But with all that said, guys, if you're interested in any trading classes or anything like that, I'm not starting any of the live sessions until after September, or at least after August. I'm doing a lot of traveling this summer. It's just not fair to give that promise of live sessions, and I'm not there half the time. But with that said, guys,